Well, hello again. So, another busy week, finally finished. At least I'm doing pretty well today. My last video was probably a bit out of it, to be honest. But yeah, so the week's done, finished everything. Okay, so onto the greenhouse. Let's see where it's at the moment. So the chili plant is still doing very, very well. It's a bit dark, so I can't show you too much detail, but and some of them have even started to actually get, more or less ripe. The asparagus has really taken off. Like, it's bigger than in my hand now, pretty much. And I've got all these radishes down here in this pot. Those are going to be pretty good to eat. I've never eaten a homegrown one before, so. And we've got all the, first up, the pak choi in the big pot. Sorry, bok choy. And all the mizuna. And the mizuna in the big pot is probably like that. And the bok choy in the small pots. All doing really well. Not happy with that result. To say the least. My immune system's been playing up a little bit recently. I don't know if you can see that, but basically hidradenitis and suppurativa, which is basically a skin condition. You can never get rid of it. I have fun with it. So basically this week's been a little bit excruciating, but yeah. So the tomato plant. It looks like it's because the sun comes from that direction, like over the sky that way. So I think what's happening here is that all the leaves are actually bending over to try and get more light. But yeah, the flowers are pretty much gone and we've got heaps of fruit coming up. I actually overwatered it a little bit the other day, so I'm glad that that's doing well. On the other side, we've got this is some more radishes, because they grew nice and quick. I wanted to grow more of them, and I've put some seedling trays in. So I think that's one starting to come up there. And another tray here. At this stage, just a really quick editing note, I failed to actually mention in the video the different types of plants that I've planted. So I have, let's go through the list. Spring onions, bok choy, red pak choy, kale, amaranthus, well, the mizuna and the black cherry tomatoes, normal types of radish, so like the red type, like just the red round spherical type, and parsley, and what was the last one? I always have trouble trying to remember stuff like this. What I'll do to make it simpler for myself is I'll just insert a quick screenshot of the little spreadsheet that I've got planning what I've got in my little seed trays. That will work. But anyway, okay, so back to the video. I see Tigger's happily sleeping away. So I'll read out what we've got now. So looking at my list, we've got Ishikura spring onions, a bunching variety. Rosa lunga de Firenze onions, narrow bulb, parsley, amaranthus, and it's mostly a red and purple variety with a tiny bit of green on it. I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. A reddish purple pak choi, bright light silver beet, which is like a multicolored variety. So there's like yellow ones, there's red ones, there's green ones, there's all sorts of different colors. It's great. Kale, lots and lots of rocket, and goji berry shrubs. So there's actually how many did I do? I've got 5 goji berry seeds in there. Those were expensive. Those were like a packet of 10 seeds cost like $6 or $7. Hopefully they turn out well. But anyway, back to the video again. And I might insert a screen slide here of... No, I won't show you the packets. I'll wait until they grow and then I'll show you that. Okay, anyway, back to the video. Another addition. I'll quickly add, so, translations in Malay, I think. Daun bawang, which is spring onions, bawang, which means onions. Yeah. The type that I've got there, more like a that sort of shaped ones, not a round bulb one, no. And parsley, amaranthus, I think is called pokok bayam. Pak choi may be called pek chai, but that could be Chinese, maybe. I'm not sure if it's different. Kale is kangkung. Silver beet is a fun one. That's known in other countries as Swiss chard or chard. In Australia, we call it silver beet. So I don't know. I couldn't find a translation for that one. I couldn't find a translation for goji berries. Goji. Couldn't find a translation. And rocket is arugula. It's kind of like spicy, peppery mustard greens, but smaller, I guess. You find a lot of it in salad. Anyway, so far, I actually wouldn't have used seedling trays for a lot of them because I know you can just sow them in a pot or in the ground and they'll just grow. But I decided, while I've got the pellets, might as well use them, and I'll see how many actually come up and germinate. Probably a bit too wet in here for them. Like, they're not drying up, they're staying moist. I don't have to water them, which is really weird. And yeah, the other plants in general, they've been doing really, really well. And I've basically realized I need to water way less because of how humid it is in here. So check, greenhouse is functioning as it should, which is great. Oh yeah, the other thing is I put up some shade cloth. It's a bit dirty, it's been sitting under my house for ages, but basically just to stop light pollution, because I noticed what I've done with the lights is to keep the possums out of the greenhouse, and that's the only reason why I have these lights in here, is to actually stop the possums from eating everything. Otherwise I wouldn't need to do it. Like, they'll dig under and get in here. They've already destroyed one attempt at doing a proper veggie garden, and I'm not going to let them do it again. So I've got these lights that basically create enough light that the possum doesn't want to go anywhere near it. I've got ringtails and brushtails on my property, well, the property that I rent. And luckily my landlord's pretty good with me doing things like this. I've asked for permission years ago, and I've been using this little patch for veggies and stuff over the years. And it's actually more like 25 square meters, and this is only, what, 4? 4 square meters. So there's a lot more that I can actually get another 3 or 4 of these greenhouses. But I have noticed one issue. So what's happening is that the frame, because it's not actually on a just change that one there, because it's actually not on a flat level surface. Started to lean over a little bit, and I think that might be an issue if we ever get heavy wind. My place is pretty sheltered, so I shouldn't get too much wind, but that said, I just don't like it. I've got to figure out a way to reinforce it, either by getting like a couple of metal stakes or something and putting them up, the far end, then leaning it over and actually driving the stakes in, pushing it up, driving the stakes and pushing the stakes over, and then tie the frame to the stakes so that it actually kind of stays more rigid. And that's my only concern. So I don't want to overload the shelves too much more on that side. So it's kind of the limit of how much you can have on here on the side already. So that's basically this way. If it was vertical, I could probably fit a few more pots in there, but it is what it is. And I know that that's going to be an issue, because if we look at this side, it hasn't keeled over at all. But yeah, so I'm going to go back inside, maybe do a little bit of shopping, then run back home, jump on the computer. The last thing I'll do before I check out is I'll just do a close-up of these tomatoes, because they're really, really good. I can't wait until they're edible. It shouldn't be too long, based on how big they are. It's not going to be long before there's actually some that are ripe. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching.